Wood King.
And of course a repeat of last year's Premier League final at Wembley. So it has all the makings of a classic, and when you bear in mind that Mervyn King, as you've just mentioned, Sid, got the better of Adrian Lewis last week, 8-5, when you consider Lewis's performance tonight, it makes that result all the more impressive. Got to the final of the Players' Championship last month, losing out to Paul Nicholson, a tremendous result for Nicholson, of course, but promises to be an absolute belter, this fourth and final game of week number 2, the White and Mackay Premier League, and James Wade is off to an absolute flyer.
Started with the max last week in Greenwich. Certainly means something this time. Lovely 2 cover shots by Merv. 2 great characters, the holder of the Premier League title. And to pick a winner, very tricky. Glasgow and Hudson Jings, them's muckle flings. Then in the final night, as you said, 38 to Wade.
4 major titles to his name, James Wade, but Dave Clark made the point. He's not the player he was when he won that title last May. One of only 2 players to have won the Premier League title. James Wade, of course, dominated by Phil Taylor, but Wade broke Taylor's grip on the Premier League last May. But Dave Clark is quite right. Wade, not the player he was back then, but plenty of years ahead of him, a big future in the game. Bull, he's going for an early lead.
Yeah, can you see with the bang. Match play champ and World Grand Prix champ in 07, UK Open champ in 08. Wade and Adrian Lewis, for my money, the 2 best untapped talents in the game. James was double 10. Nice dip a dart into the middle, but perfectly weighted into the south end of the bed.
Good, solid, steady start from James Wade. There was a time when James and Adrian were the big, bright hopes, and were pretty much on a par when it was form and consistency. But this man broke clear of Adrian, really, and stepped forward now of matching James.
Well, he says that he does lock off, lay off, it's one after 3 or 4 brilliant legs. So he's been practicing well for the last week under the auspices Kitala, and said, oh, I'm going to have an again, laying off the pedal. James sometimes seems not able to find the pedal. And we know these darts, slimline darts, he started using in London. They still got the Malacca cane thing, which he designed when he was 15 in metalwork. But they're more extreme, these slimmer arrows being flung by the man in purple. Beautiful, smooth release by James. Very quick wrist through the dart. Lovely cover!
Yeah, brilliant cover shot from James Wade. And Mervyn King is looking for that treble 19. Wade in a decent position to go forward and take a 2-0 advantage.
Yes, if he'd have gone into a different kind of like James, he'd have been in the pit stops for Penelope. Fastest wheel changer in the game was a quick fit fitter. But then he found his true metal with 2 T's, and then he was tungsten.
Slack start to the match from Mervyn King. Chance for Wade for 2-0. Double 8. There's the target. Still plenty of room in the bed. And gets there, 2-0. James Wade leads. That's a fine break of Mervyn King's throw.
Yes, says we've got a Mexican wave here in Bournemouth, and James wearing that left arm like a wizard's wand, averaging 102 and making it look easy peasy. Middle of the cover. Well, King must have been in his counting house, because he's not going to be on the money unless he starts moving now. Weird, a great into this player. That should have been in the red bit.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, James Wade's already achieved quite a bit in his glittering career, but his best days, you could suggest, are still very much ahead of him.
Since spring of '05, Phil Taylor's only been beaten 5 times in the Premier Dart League. Once 10-6 by this lad in the semi, but twice by James Wade.
First 180 of the game for King, one apiece where that's concerned, but this man, James Wade, with an early grip on the contest, and he'll be looking for a victory tonight, because the longer you have to wait for your first win on the Premier League scene, the pressure does mount week after week. Moving on to the Odyssey Arena in Belfast next week, and James Wade takes on Phil Taylor next week. So Mervyn King against Ronnie Baxter is how it starts in Belfast next Thursday.
The only person in the league that beaten Taylor twice, Wade. And you did the treble to start the combination. Right then, this goes in. King's in trouble. Remember, a big win here could have put King above Taylor in the league. He wants another 60. Just pulled it. Spun it on a 2-darter nudge.
And now Mervyn King looking to get his first leg on the board, and a break of throw as well. 64 the target. Double 16 now for Mervyn King.
Over-pitched. I think his pitching arm is too tight. Single 15s now. Tops for 3-zip by the holder. A mile away. Red bit.
Well, he's kicking himself there. That was a golden opportunity for Wade. Wasted. Surely Mervyn King will take this out now. Switching to double 8. There it is, middle of the bed. Perfect finish on double 8 from King. And he gets his